Okay, I don't know if you can see me, but we're back at it again. So here we go. I mean, everything, like the whole property is changing right now, and it literally has dropped several degrees. That bright light in the field is most definitely there. It goes from here all the way to here, and I'm not talking about the skylight in the back there, because that is the skyline, which is also strange. And this is also strange over here because it's all lit up. Okay, now the temperature just dropped a little bit more. And again, I would love to have any of you out here that don't believe or would like to experience this. I mean, the invitation is open. Not every night is always like, you know, the same things, but every night, and I mean every night, something happens. Every night. Mark my words, it's going to be just a matter of seconds before we see another light coming from the horizon. And I don't know what that is. I'm going to turn on my 1200 luminary light here. There is something out where this whole light is, and where I'm shining my light, it goes straight across in that area. And again, not the horizon back there, but right through this line, about where my flashlight won't go past for some reason. It's like a perfectly straight line that my big mag light will not break the barrier, and sometimes it'll come right up to this deck here where I stand. That was my garden at one time, which is overgrown now, but sometimes my mag light will literally not light up till, you know, just like maybe 2 foot past this deck. So we already know that we have the technology to bend light and do all sorts of other things. And I assure you, we've had this technology. I mean, I grew up in New Mexico. My dad was Air Force, married to a Navy SEAL. We went contract CIA. Doesn't really matter who I was married to, but the point is, I believe that sometimes whenever you have taken that avenue and road in life, that I think there's a reason that you start seeing these kind of things, because it seems like everyone I speak with that kind of is experiencing what I am, with the basically daily visuals of these things. It almost feels like a targeted individual, but again, there's nothing special about any of us, but the things that we do have in common are usually the blood types. A lot of us have Morgellons disease, not all of everybody, or I should say at least showing signs of Morgellons disease. And a lot of us, almost everyone I've encountered, actually I can't think of one that hasn't had some sort of a military background, whether it be family, a spouse, a friend, a parent. I mean, that is the typical thing that I've noticed quite a bit. And it always seems to like be like Air Force and naval people that go through a lot of this. Sorry guys, I'm trying to film as I go, and I am not very good at this. Like I said, I still can't go live. I don't know why. It says I need like 4,000 like viewing hours, whatever that means, and I thought it said I had like 38,000, but maybe it meant 3,800. I really am not good at this, like I said. And I put too much out on the line whenever I go out here. And I video these, and then I tell people about it, because trust me, there's a lot of non-believers out there. And I'm also going to admit, once again, I was one of them. I did not believe in any of this. Born and raised in the Church of Christ, a Christian home, religion shoved down my throat, so much so that, you know, if you even thought that these things were real, you were going to hell, okay? So therefore, I mean, I've already had a big portion of my family turn their backs. I have 2 daughters that... I have 4 girls. I have 2 daughters that, you know, I know believe, but I have 2 others that just won't even say if they believe or not. But when you put Morgellons disease in the mix, it really, really makes people question you, because, I mean, if the CDC is going to deny it, say it doesn't exist, and you can show videos and 100% solid ass proof, and I'm talking specimens and all, and you'll see on one of my other videos, on my page, I have a frog in there that has fibers literally shooting out of it, and it actually ultimately took that frog's life. Much like it has taken many of us that have Morgellons disease and suffer from it. I just saw a light moving through the trees right back over here. Let's see if we can see it again. But basically, what I say is true. I wouldn't like risk my whole character and my basically just the trust that people have in me. And when I put myself out there, I lost a lot of that. But you know what? I decided I don't care. Nothing's gonna stop me. The truth needs to be released. It needs to be told. People need to hear it. And it is going to be heard because, my goodness, I mean, look, this is a global account. People all over the world are starting to see these things. The temperature just dropped again and went back up momentarily, but it's back down. And the lights through those trees where I have my camera pointed at now, those are that's parking lot lights. And you can tell a difference. They look different, let's put it like that. But sometimes you'll see those lights in the same direction, kind of mimicking what those are, in my opinion, because I think that's what they do. That they act differently, even though they're proportioned quite the same. They're closer. That's the only way to put it. They're closer, and actually this one is actually getting closer. And I know there's going to be many of you out there like, she's crazy. But you haven't seen my other videos yet if you're saying that or thinking that. And even if you want to think that, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you. And I mean, after that, the rest is on you. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to. I mean, I got better things to do, I assure you. But right now, this is a priority. So, you know, I've had a few hateful people that have said, you know, you're crazy, you're weird, go away, weirdo, you can't even film, you don't know how to take a video. Well, typically that's probably why it's probably a real video, because the quality sucks. And others are saying, well, you're bouncing your camera phone around on purpose. No, no, I'm not. I'm just not a videographer, number one. Number two, who in their right dang mind that like experiences these things can hold a camera steady and just like be really still and be like, yeah, oh no, I was totally expecting this, like this, you know, it's just a normal day. Because it's not normal. And if you're like me, or even if you're not, I mean, I experience this daily, but it's never non-shocking, ever. And not only that, there's this weird emotion, feeling that comes over you. I mean, you can feel it all the way to your bones. It just consumes you. And then when the temperature drops, I mean, you guys have heard me get quiet every time it did. It's because you're almost paralyzed, and I can't explain it. But for those of you that have also watched some more of my videos, or most of them, you can also see the blue lights that come out of my skin all the time. You know, I've been told it's Morgellons disease. Other people say it's an alien implant. All that I know is it's happening. It's real. And I'm not that stupid that I would come out here and spend hours upon hours of my time videoing the sky like I am right now, with pretty much nothing in it tonight, oddly enough, but that's probably because I'm speaking of it as I go. But I wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be necessary. But again, check out my other videos. And we've seen 2 lights tonight, and yes, they did look like an airplane. They were flashing lights, and that is not a typical reaction, although sometimes it is. And actually the one that was back here that I showed you earlier, they don't usually come from that in particular direction either. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a drone, because I mean, you got to think about this. If we're talking about it, we're putting it out there, and it's all over worldwide. Again, there's nothing special about me, but when I'm sitting here blabbing my mouth, flapping my guns, and you know, I had to take an oath to be a military wife in a development group, Team 6 in Dam Neck, Virginia. I mean, I had to, you know, take an oath for a lot of things, so maybe that's why. I don't have the answers. But for the next person that wants to say, you're an idiot, you have 78,000 videos, what are you thinking? Nobody has that many UFO experiences. I'm gonna put a size 7, which is my foot size, right up in their buttocks. And here's why. Because I'm speaking the truth. I don't need the nonsense. They don't even have to believe. But if they can't be kind and say you need a straitjacket, you need this, they're messing with the wrong woman. I have been to hell and back, folks. To hell and back. With this disease, you have no idea. You know, Skin Deep just came out, which is a documentary for this disease, but they have omitted so many things that actually go along with this just because they got to reach the imbeciles like the people that have told me you're crazy, you're this, you're that. They have to leave a lot of that detail out because otherwise nobody will like believe it nor watch the film. But do me a favor and watch Skin Deep. Keep in mind the Charles Holman Foundation, which is a big advocate for Morgellons disease and Lyme disease. I kind of think they're on the government side as well because they'll try to treat you for it, but they will not acknowledge all the other weird, strange things that go hand in hand with it. And it is like your worst nightmare of a sci-fi movie that there has ever been. And that is just to put it politely. True story. True story, guys. I mean, look at my videos. You can't like make that stuff up. And obviously I'm a horrible videographer. Obviously, I sound ignorant when I speak on this stupid video. But I mean, I'm kind of over it. I'm not out here to impress or be like, hey, look at me, I'm so cool. I'm way over that. I'm a woman that has 4 girls, 2 grandchildren. I don't have time for the nonsense. I really don't. You know, it's just like Gina Marie. I mean, we do this because we are trying to say there is something going on. And folks, there is something going on. Just not tonight as much, oddly enough. So, with that said, hope you guys understand, and I hope that, you know, if you haven't had a chance, look at my other videos because they're real. Everything's real. And anyone else that's telling you the same thing, more than likely, they're telling the truth. I mean, nobody has time to fabricate films anymore. You know, we got other things to do. So, I saw one guy get persecuted horribly because, I mean, they were calling him illiterate, you can't even type, can't even speak. Who cares? Who cares? The man is showing you details of what his encounter was and speaking about it. And everything I heard out of his mouth, I've experienced too, so I believe him. And we're at a point in life where we can't say never anymore. Never say never, because everything that we thought didn't exist, folks, we were wrong. We were way wrong. Our entire history's a lie. It's just time to wake up. And I know most of you out there are awake and you see this and that's why you're here. But to those trolls out there, or just those that are just out to debunk, or they maybe haven't seen one, so they're like, hey, there's nothing special about you that you can't see that on a daily basis, that you're crazy. You're wrong and go away. I don't have time for you. I'm here to reach out to those that believe, that have seen, that know, that feel, and you know it here. And the rest of you, with your nonsense, go away. You're not welcome here. It's just that simple.